Team Macau, Miss Mangjun. So, Coach, what are you anticipating from today's match?
今天的预期是可能尽一切可能，我们全力以赴的保平争胜吧。
Would you like to describe your today's first 11?
第一战队我们首发的。
今天的比赛可能我们更多一点会锻炼新人，然后在比赛当中能够沉淀经验，可能为团队的这个长远发展打好地基。
Okay, best of luck for today's match, Coach. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm here with the head coach of Team Bhutan, Mr. Kim Tae-in. So Coach, can you take us through the starting 11 and tell us about your expectation from today's match?
구산볼라 퍼스트 11은 442 포메이션으로 지금 준비를 했는데 결과가 어떻게 나올지는 잘 모르겠지만 상황에 따라서 지금 전술을 변화시키려고 예정을 하고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Hello everyone, I'm here with the head coach of Team Macau, Miss Mangjun. So, Coach, what are you anticipating from today's match?
今天的预期是可能尽一切可能，我们全力以赴的保平争胜吧。
Would you like to describe your today's first 11?
第一战队我们首发的。
今天的比赛可能我们更多一点会锻炼新人，然后在比赛当中能够沉淀经验，可能为团队的这个长远发展打好地基。
Okay, best of luck for today's match, Coach. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm here with the head coach of Team Bhutan, Mr. Kim Tae-in. So Coach, can you take us through the starting 11 and tell us about your expectation from today's match?
구산볼라 퍼스트 11은 442 포메이션으로 지금 준비를 했는데 결과가 어떻게 나올지는 잘 모르겠지만 상황에 따라서 지금 전술을 변화시키려고 예정을 하고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo and welcome. It is the 7th of April. It is 6 p.m. Almost 6 p.m. It is 5:50 right here in Changlimitang. A sudden and heavy torrential downpour here in Thimphu, but it does seem just to be subsiding. There is a little bit of sunshine far over in the mountains in the distance as the players from both Bhutan and Macau The Dragon Ladies against their first international campaign in quite a while. Do let us know what you think the results for today will be. As a surprise, Bhutan is actually the stronger team heading into the matchup today. MACAU currently at a FIFA ranking of 175, despair in their last couple of outings. Their last match against Chinese Taipei ended up in a 16-0 loss. The campaign against Mongolia, a draw. Against Guam, a 5-0 loss. Singapore, 3-0. And against Guam again in a 5-0 loss, which does mean that things are looking quite bright for the Dragon Ladies today. They are coming off of a loss against Jordan, 3-0. But we do have one goal against Iran, 7. A win against Lebanon. A win against Singapore. So Bhutan's team is actually quite the stronger one going into this matchup. So it is interesting to see what the end result for today will be. We are lacking a couple of names in the national roster for the Dragon Ladies today. As we all know, Chunku, alongside a couple others of national footballers, went down to the land under the sun to Australia, but a huge chunk of our firepower is still back here in Changlimitang. Most of them did join Transport United Ladies in their SAF Club Championship over in Nepal last winter. And they do not lack any shortage of training whatsoever. RTCFC did end up facing against the same MACAU team. They did win 2-0 thanks to a brace from their captain Somthamo. So there is a huge pressure mounting on the Dragon Ladies today as they are chasing the victorious result from RTCFC.
Let's welcome the teams of Bhutan and MACAU.
Fantastic views after the heavy rain here in Thimphu. It is a beautiful weather. It will affect the ball though. As we all know, playing in the rain does make the weight a bit different, so it should be a little challenge for the athletes here in Changlimitang today. As there is the flag, there are the warriors stepping into Changlimitang. The first international campaign for the Dragon Ladies in the wild, as despite the rain, applause and cheers fly out for the athletes. 22 warriors representing their own kingdoms. Solid lineup for Bhutan today. We are missing a couple of key players in the starting lineup, but there may be reasons as we await the national anthem.
If you're able for the national anthem of MACAU.
Solid turnout from the audience despite the early rain. It does seem to have subsided. There is sunshine all over the mountains above Chiang Limitang. There is sunshine as well, if you did catch a glimpse of him in the audience as well. So it is looking quite promising, looking quite entertaining for the fans of Bhutanese football. As here is the starting lineup for Bhutan. We have Sangeeta Monga on goal, back from her recent news from her international signing. Pimacharen sitting, the captain, as always, number 6, Sringhadan. 14, Jamengcharan. Number 12, Sugmaya is back again. Number 5, Somcharan 2, Dekil Hazom 9, Doji Eden 16, Ishibida 19. Number Jama 11, Sringyangden. Number 7, as for MACAU, we have Wenglan Chon, number 1. On goal, we have Anna Sophia. Fun fact, she is actually the oldest on the field right now. Born in 1984. Other than that, they do also have a couple of kids born in 2010 as well. But continuing with the lineups, it is Lamchan at 4, Wafong at 8, Jocelyn at 16, Sarah Kay at 10. Also, who was also born in 2010 as well. I do believe she's one of the youngest. Sejong is in number 20, Samlo is in number 15, Kenchi, number 3, Loki Lam, number 13, Puike Un, 14. So these will be the starting lineups for both countries. Bhutan, on one side, is on average definitely the older team on the field right now. MACAU does have 3 players born in 2010. The youngest is actually the number 20 who was born in 2011. So it is quite a very young team. Their results do show that youth, but their captain is their anchor in the middle of it all. The Silva is number 2, their captain. The solid backline for their side. They were beaten twice, couldn't answer back against RTC FC, and today will be their opportunity to make a redemption run against the Dragon Ladies. Coming off of that loss, they will have no more to lose. This is their last campaign here in Bhutan. At least from what I think. So the Dragon Ladies will have to do their best and not underestimate the MACAU side. Going ahead into today's match, there is a vast difference in FIFA rankings between the two teams. But as we all know, if you have been following Bhutanese football, the performance from the side of the Dragon Ladies is actually leagues ahead of the international runs from our Dragons. Their passes, their confidence, especially in their international matchups, have been leagues above. Dragons, hopefully we see more of that today. There is the captain Pimacharen, her brothers having successful campaigns from the qualifiers to the international match against Brunei we saw down in Guwahati. So she does have quite a lot at stake. As we know, in sibling rivalry, bragging rights is all the chase. Bhutan, quite solid. The rain now completely away. There is still a slight bit of wind here in Chiang Limitang as we await the starting whistle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There is the captain Pimacharen starting things off. Insane motor from the Dragon Ladies. Hopefully we see more of that again. There is Srinyadan, definitely one of the key forwards we are to look forward to. We are missing the presence of Chunko Somchoren in midfield, but the Dragon Ladies lack no depth in terms of their roster. There is the RTC. Defender plays it up. Might have been a bit too hard. The players will need a couple minutes getting their nerves out. MACAU, early possession. Beautiful vision on that pass from the youngest on the field. That was in fact Sejong. Was born in 2011. At this point in life, we are reaching the midlife crisis where we are seeing people much younger than us participate in all forms of entertainment, should I say, in international stages. So it does give me personally a moment to think. But shaky start from both teams right now. It is MACAU on the ball. Not quite enough pressure to really give the audience a hope for an early goal. It is a throw-in. Apologies for the silence. I was actually testing if in fact the commentator broadcast was being sent through to YouTube, but it does seem like it, as Bhutan with the early initiative. Possession still on side for Bhutan. Brilliant bit of skill there on that left flank, but it is 1 against 3, only so much she can do. Does manage to keep it alive for a throw-in. Solid patience from the Dragon Ladies. There is quite a bit of trust from the coach on the starting 11 today in terms of possession. A trend we see in Bhutanese football is that we force the centre-backs or the midfield or anyone in fact to send the ball out long. But after that matchup against Brunei, things does seem to have changed for the better for Bhutanese football. We are seeing the same story for the Dragon Ladies. Slow possession encouraged for them today here in Janglemitang as well. Throw in. Played out left. All open. Does have that left foot for the cross. Intercepted. Anna Sophia back in that defense, anchoring the MACAU side. Despite the youth of her team, it will be her sole responsibility to keep the Greens alive. In the face-off today, it's Sringharin. Quite an ambitious effort. There was a bit of a shove there from her on that recovery, but not quite so, and it is Temma. Right cross, sent in. Brilliant hustle, gets the ball back. It is Sringharin again. Ball's in middle. Pissy sends it out, Sringharin. Off to the right. Back to Sringharin. Not quite enough lift on that ball, and it is a slow and gruesome build-up for the Dragon Ladies today. MACAU, after the brilliant spark in the early couple of minutes, it is the Dragon Ladies in complete domination in terms of possession. Do let me know if you have any favorites in terms of players going into this match today. For me, especially coming from Samsi Pisi, is definitely a local legend, established herself in the national scene, so she will definitely be a player I will personally support, as there was pandemonium up front. Just couldn't find that connection. The defender slipped, missed the clearance. There was that replay again. Chunku couldn't quite manage. The tap-in. The Kalasum will have regrets from that possession, but definitely not the last attempt she will be getting on goal. There is a man down from the side of MACAU. The Dragon Ladies definitely playing very, very physical. Lucky for us, not many whistles are being thrown. from the referee, but right now it will be a corner as there is medical evaluation for the MACAU team. Bhutan, definitely the height advantage we have, but Choren does seem like she is playing back post. Ball played inside, there is that shot! Early advantage for Bhutan as the Dragon Ladies make it 1-0 against MACAU inside the first 10 minutes. And it is none other than our own Sugmaya. The audience felt it coming. The crowd definitely on that feet, especially after that attempt from the Kilhazum. The Dragon Ladies did see a glimmer of hope for their goal, and they do manage to get something in brilliant placement on that unfortunate deflection of that defender, but it is a goal nonetheless, as the Dragon Ladies finally with an advantage. Thus, at this point, does seem like we are on pace for a very high scoring goal. Sugmaya putting herself in the score sheet. Brilliant ball played up. Jordan had that burst of pace, but the defender did get in the way, and it will be a goal kick in favor of MACAU. Brilliant header there, forces that error from the defender, but not quite really a chance. The ball was placed quite awkwardly on that header, and it will be a throw-in. For Bhutan. If you guys did watch the match in Guwahati for the Dragons, where we saw the return of Tunji Kelton, the boys did have a clear advantage against Brunei, but at some point we did not see the same level of energy they started with. Hopefully the story today is quite different. Bhutan is lacking a reason to celebrate in our international campaigns, except for that one win against Brunei, which was a win that was coming after a long time. Hopefully the Dragon Ladies can change the story, can give us a plot twist, as there is an ambitious shot from Sringharan. The Bhutanese front line looking as dangerous as ever, especially for the Dragon Ladies. We did see not a grand campaign. We did see most of the national squad joining Transport Ladies for their Nepal campaign, if you guys followed their run in the South Club Championship. There is Pemachorin. The hustle we've seen from her Timber City run back again, looking strong as we near the start of the season again. The boys' season will be starting on the 2nd of May. I don't believe the schedule was released yet, but we did see quite a lot of new signings. Poro FC's foreign signings are being released. There is Namgyal on that left, has the touch, left foot goes in, cross not quite enough on that header. Had the judgment to go for that header, but the reactions milliseconds too late, and it will give MACAU possession back. Pass played short, intercepted. Tojiden, pass played out. Pemchoden, not quite enough on that run. Also to our G viewers, let's not berate the MACAU teams. They are representing their country. They are putting up their best right now. So instead, let us applaud their performance and hope that they fight back. It is still a tight game. It is still in the 11th minute. It is still plenty of football more to go. As we know, if you've followed the game of football for a long time, no lead is ever safe. And also Macau is fielding quite a lot of young players. Except for 3 of them. All of them were born in the 2000s and almost 6 of them are post 2010. So they do have a lot of growth ahead of them, even if we do not see their full potential today as their challenge against Tiki. It is Bhutan. Tojiden off to that right. Namgadema on that right. Not quite enough to finish that run. Very, very windy here. Macau does have the tailwind advantage. But their possession is completely being torn apart by Bhutan's defense. Except for that one involvement in her goal. Sukmaya there again, the opening goal scorer. Has not seen that many possession. I do believe it was her first true possession that gave the Dragon Ladies the lead. Tojiden, brilliant pass, Pemichanan. Back to Sringhoundin. Tojiden. Namge on that right. Does manage to get a scan off. Likes that 1-on-1. Ambitious release on that ball. Quite explosive by every right. But the ball sent a bit too far forward and it will be a throw-in for Macau. Also, for those of you who are just joining in, Macau has already played against the RTC-FC women's team up in their home ground, up at RTC. They did lose after conceding 2 goals from RTC's captain, Son Hummel. So it is quite a safe game for the Dragon Ladies, but as they say, never disturb a wounded tiger. Brilliant on that ball. Tiglasm up front and the tap-in goes in! The second for Bhutan. The first for the Kilhazum as Bhutan is now up 2 against Macau's 0. Brilliant possession from the tiny forward for the Dragon Ladies, but no lack of heart. Posted up against the goalkeeper, posted up against the defender, and somehow managed to get a foot across to net it in, and it will be 2 for Bhutan.
Goal for Team Bhutan, scored by just number 9, Dikil Hazom.
We have at this point only crossed the quarter of an hour mark, and Macau is at rock bottom as there is again one more run from the left from the captain this time. Pemacharan decides the option in the middle much better. But not quite safe. The Dragon Ladies do manage to get possession back. It is on that left flank. Dojiden. Sent out to Namgyal. Brilliant run on that right flank. The Dragon Ladies do have a fantastic base merchant in Sunita, but we are not seeing her start for the national squad today. She is on the bench. So despite the 2-goal advantage that we currently have, Bhutan still has the potential to get ahead with much, much more. Brilliant challenge there from Namgyal. Ball still inside. Doesn't like that left foot, but Sringlaren does. Pass in out middle. Dojeden hesitated for far too long. Challenge came in, and it will be a throw in. For MACAU. There was that first goal from Sugmaya. Brilliant timing, brilliant positioning. Couldn't quite get a proper foot in, but that knee did all the work that her foot could have. Also, even if you are supporting the Bhutan team, and if you are neutral against the MACAU team, please do not make fun of our opponents today. It would be bad sportsmanship even from our side as the audience ourselves. They are putting up their level best. It is just that our Dragon ladies are quite strong. Right foot. Sangeeta! Brilliant effort from Sarah K. Saw the opportunity, took it. Sangeeta did not expect that at all, but does manage to get a save across. Shoves it off the line, and it will be MACAU's corner. MACAU. They are 2 goals down. This is the closest they've ever gotten to our goal. So they will want to make the most out of this as the delivery played outside the box. It is MACAU in recovery. Left-footed delivery. Gingchi, ambitious shot there, but not quite enough to beat her iron glove. Sangeeta as solid, as reliable as ever. Also, it was raining quite heavily just an hour ago, but right in time for the match. The rain subsided. It is still windy nonetheless. The tailwind is in favor of MACAU, so their long shots are, in fact, a very good idea. Namgyal. Challenge comes in from behind, does manage to release it in time. A brilliant run there. The goalkeeper could have got a hand on it, but does manage to send it out. Immediate danger. Cleared away. Unfortunate on that possession down on that right flank. But it will be a goal kick. Also, with regards to the background sounds that we have received feedback on, we do place a mic somewhere in the audience down near the ground so that we can capture a bit of audio from the players and the ground, so that there is a little bit of immersion involved. But sometimes, more often than not, we are unfortunately, people do end up near that mic, and they, well, talks and gossips do end up being picked up by the mic as well. Last time we did hear the banter of an elderly lady with a taxi driver, so hopefully that doesn't happen today. But we do apologize for the noise as well. It is for the better of the immersive experience. Bhutan. Namgyal sees that pass out to Dicky. Has that one-on-one, has that pass if she does not like it, but does try to needle the ball through the defenders. Nutmeg fails, but it is still possession for Bhutan. possession. Still alive, Sring Yangdin delivery right at the goalkeeper. Pimachadin was right there. Ambitious cross there from the number 7, but we know from experience that her performances are simply exceptional. At the international stage, the number 7 has never failed. Also, for our viewers who are simply tuning in, there is still plenty of firepower for the Dragon Ladies in the substitution, most notably Sunita, who is still in the bench. But at this point, whatever Bhutan is doing, whatever Kim Tae-in drew up for the Dragon Ladies is working. So at this point, we should just simply wait a while until we make any core changes to the starting 11 or to the 11 on the field right now. 22 minutes, strong football from the Dragon Ladies. They have looked completely dominant, a sight we rarely get to see. Even for the Dragons' win against Brunei, it was a hard-fought victory from the effort of Sinchi Kelson. Brunei did end up scoring. It was Hakimi for the side of Brunei scoring that opening in that one-on-one against Yeshe or Bebila against Kelson Zangpo. So it has really been a while where we've seen Bhutan be so dominant in an international campaign, and as such, let us simply appreciate the sheer brilliance of football that the Dragon Ladies are playing today, as there is space opening up on that left offside flag raised. However, couldn't quite manage to get it under control. It should be that brilliant effort, nonetheless a core part of the RTC squad, if I'm not wrong. There is Wenglan looking for options. MACAU definitely strong, despite their youth. Are playing as physical as they can, but are Dragon Lee simply too strong right now, as there was a solid challenge from Lokwa. Possession almost won by MACAU. It is the Kilazam back at it again. Namgya, Pimachadin. Srinharan sees the space for Dojirin in the middle. Quite a hard challenge. There was that obvious tug on the shoulder of Toji Eden. MACAU already had one close call with an injury early on. With the weight of the rain on that ball, as from what I've seen in their practices, the long shots has been exceedingly difficult in today's condition. But the Dragon Ladies will be making a direct effort. Brilliant bar on that ball. Just unfortunate for Doji Eden, served a bit to the right. Wenglan not expecting that at all. Only had a step in. As the Dragon Ladies almost got their score up 3. Brilliant challenge against the Kilazon. It is. Then Lam does lose possession. Back for the Dragon Ladies. Srinharan. Somchorin. Off to Sugmaya. It's Young Den. Ambitious long ball from that left side. The Kilazum just can't quite managed possession. Macau almost failing that clearance as well, but their captain back. Solid as ever. Brilliant defending this time around from Sejong. Definitely had a shaky start for Macau, but finally it seems like their players have a direction of where they need to go in terms of strategy and in terms of effort. Brilliant ball against Namgya. But a bit of panic there from Macau as that clearance is sent out of bounds. Sejong again. The throw in. Solid challenge from Tring Yangtin, the forwards for the Dragon Ladies. Definitely letting off. Definitely not letting off in terms of pressure. Macau. No clean passes. No spaces they can exploit. After the two strong early efforts, it has been a quarter of an hour of silence from the Dragon Ladies. Yes, the scoreline is still stuck at 2-0. And the crowd definitely expecting more. Given the strong start we had. Despite the comfortable lead, it is still way too early for our ladies to rest. There is Pemichar in brilliant motor, brilliant run. The captain beats one. Beats two, gets that shot off, but it is saved and it will be awarded as a corner for the Dragon Ladies again. Brilliant pass there, brilliant run from the captain. Just couldn't quite find the angle for the finish. Our first goal did come by way of that same setup. Will it be deja vu? As the pass is played back post, Trimladen on that recovery manages to send it in. Dekil Hazum has the vision. Namgadema, brilliant cut in. Not quite enough burst of pace. Yangdin forced to play it back and the Dragon Ladies forced to retreat. Brilliant defending from Macau. Brilliant long ball played in. Possession still alive. Yangdin. Namgyal. Brilliant shot passes from the two of them. Still anyone's ball as there is a Macau player down. Whistle has been blown. Absolute chaos here in Zhang Limitang. As efforts are being made, there was that clash again. Yangdin down by Sejong. But that challenge was outside of the box. So hopefully the referee does manage to see that Macau player is down from an earlier clash in the same possession. It may very well be the chance that Macau needs to regroup. There was that first goal from Sukmaya. Did have a follow-up from the Kilazum, but us comfortably up 2-0 as we are currently at the half an hour mark. Macau, however, today has been absolutely outclassed in terms of technical ability and both physical prowess. player still down. Jocelyn finally seems to be back up, although she is limping. Macau already on the back foot, given the starting 11. It will be quite a detriment to their side if they lose one of their starters as well. Macau are playing off against, are coming off of a 16-goal loss against Chinese Taipei. So, considering that record, today is actually quite a stronger game for them. It is a free kick indeed. Ishipida. Definitely one of the shining stars in Bhutanese women's football. Good go toe to toe with many players as that shot is played low. Ambitious there, but brilliant recovery there from Namgyaltema, sends it back out. Ishipida. Again it is Dekilazon, but not quite enough power on that header. As the attack fades away. And for Macau, it does seem like Jocelyn is back on the field. The earlier injury does seem to be gotten rid of, and it will be a goal kick again. This time played low, too much, too strong. From Youngden, finally at the end of it. Open pass out. Dema off to the captain. Brilliant job there from the captain. Jukes one. Cross sent off against the other, and it is finally intercepted. Back out for a corner for the Dragon Ladies. Sukmaya does look like she is joining the attacking efforts again as well. We did see the opening contribution from her side. It is Sring Yangden this time, sends it back out. Brilliant possessionless play from the Dragon Ladies. Failed header. Brilliant volley! Tekil has some fantastic effort, fantastic talent inside that tiny body, but this time not quite enough to redirect that ball towards the goalpost, and it will be a narrow escape for Macau. At this point in the match for Macau, it is a pick your poison kind of type, as there is that left wing loose again. He should put the left foot deflected. Close call there on that left flank. It is Tojiden. Bhutan regrouping. They are simply baiting the Macau forwards to stretch thin their defense. As that attack again fizzles out into nothing. As I was saying, Macau at this point in the game is at a stage where it is kind of like a pick your poison type of challenge. If they go and play their long balls, their players do not have the technique to maintain possession of the ball or even control the ball, which has been quite a recurrent challenge for their side in this match, as should be evident right now. They're again possession went directly to Bhutan, even if they play their short passes. They are simply not able to find an answer to the brilliant press from the Dragon Ladies. But however, it is a good story we are seeing as the MACAU defenders finally stepping up their game. Matching stride for stride against Bhutan, but it is coming at the cost of so many of their players, as another is down for MACAU. Do keep in mind that it is a very young team from MACAU. Many players born after the year of 2010. 5 of their starters born in 2010, 1 born in 2011. So in fact, this is very well a youth team for MACAU. And despite the experience and the technical capability of the players from the side of MACAU, their bodies are still developing, which is proving to be quite a challenge against the ruthless Dragon Ladies. Exactly. It is at this point college and above players playing against kids who are supposed to be in school right now. Trimladen, brilliant physicality to win the ball back, manages to stick her left foot out, and it is back to Sugmaya, and on that left flank again as Zishibida. Brilliant touch, brilliant one touch again. Slight miscommunication from the Dragon Ladies, but it was quite an ambitious build-up. Just couldn't culminate into something quite strong, as it is back to Winglan again for the goal kick. Brilliant control there. Dojitin. Back to Sukmaya. Dojitin off to the right. It is Tringyangdin. Busy. To that right. Midema has the space. Sends it out. Brilliant positioning from the side of Sejong to deflect it out, and it will be a corner again for the Dragon Ladies. We are left with less than 10 minutes until the end of the first half, as Bhutan is hounding every possession as that ball played up against Pimachoren. Brilliant on that header. The goalkeeper did manage to get a save off, but clear handball from the defender. Can we get the replay on that possession, Pimachoren? There was that handball. Cheeky play from MACAU. Did look like it was headed off into the net. A cheeky play from MACAU. And it will be a penalty for the Dragon Lady. So far, Wenglan definitely the star of the show for MACAU. And at this point, she is the answer. All eyes on Doji Iten. Easy effort for the number 16. The first for her, the third for Bhutan, as we now make it 3-0. Definitely could have been Pimachoren's opener, but it is a score in favor for Bhutan. Nonetheless, there was that possession again. although we are playing right now here in Limitang, the players from Macau know that their friends, their family, their countrymen from back home will be watching as well. So at this point, they also have a lot of pressure to put up a performance. You cannot win all of your matches, but you cannot go down as a sore loser. And at this point, Macau doing their level best to match the Dragon Ladies stride for stride. Dojiden. Also for the FIFA rankings, Bhutan, Macau is at 175. They are coming off of a 16-0 loss against Chinese Taipei alongside a couple of losses to Guam and a couple other countries. But Bhutan is directly 10 slots above them at 165. But we do have plenty of winning records for the women's national team to brag about, which we couldn't say about the men's team, other than that win against Brunei. So for those of our viewers who are simply tuning in right now, this is one of the very rare instances where Bhutan is coming in as favorites to win the match. Macau. The Dragon Ladies unchallenged on that left flank. It will be Shibida on that run again this time. Macau does manage to read it well, but there again, the absolute hounds that our Dragon Ladies are proving themselves to be. Brilliant pressure from the forwards, forcing the defenders into error after error. Also, I do apologize, but I only have the name sheet in front of me. I have been confused for quite a while as I am not reading anything. So, apologies if I'm confused, but I did get that feedback quite a lot to stop reading, but I only have the playlist, a monitor and the ground in front of me. Also, I do have YouTube on my phone, so that if there are any questions, I can answer it. So, apologies for that rant, but it is a corner again. This time Macau just managed to get a header off, sends it way above all the orange jerseys on that back post. To Jaden, plenty of space, decides to send it out to the right, Namgatema. 300, brilliant one touch off to Namgatema, and it will be a right-footed delivery inside the box, right into the goalkeeper. Costly there. Could have been Bhutan's fault. Dikil has him almost at the end of it. But it is not quite enough as that ball is played up. Finally, Sukmaya. Lokwa finally had brilliant positioning on that, but
There will be 4 minutes of
did not expect
added
that
time.
defender to come from the back as well. Wingland. Macau running out of options. Every long ball from the goalkeeper definitely filled with her players that one of her teammates could at least get at the end of it, but has not been the story so far. Also, my name is Suginta Shitochi. I started commentating from the start of the qualifiers. I did do 1 or 2 matches for Transport United at the end of the BOB Bhutan Premier League. I have not received any official training. I am still in the midst of collecting feedback and studying, but not many material are available online, as the art of commentating is quite an exclusive skill. So I am doing my best. It does seem like I will be coming back in for this season, so looking forward to working with all of you. And also, if you do notice me making any mistakes, please do let me know. I do appreciate any and all sort of feedback so I can provide the best experience for Bhutanese football fans. There is the lone hero at this point for MACAU. 4 minutes of additional time. The Dragon Ladies. Still solid in their possession. Recurring tail. Close call there from the captain. Thought Sophia had it cleared. Not quite. Close call there from our own captain as well. As Bhutan still with possession. 1 more minute to go. Brilliant shot from long distance. But there again, the struggling effort from the lone hero of MACAU. It is Wenglan again and again. Would have been a completely different storyline had it not been for the goalkeeper. The Dragon Ladies are up 3-0, but could have been a lot different. Sangeeta Mongar. Haven't seen her in a while in this match. Bhutan has that one-on-one. Shot! And fought for Bhutan. The first for the captain. Unfortunate on that header from MACAU. Just simply set up a brilliant run for our captain. And Pimacharan, we felt it coming. Finally, a goal from the number 6. And there is the whistle to signal the end of the first half. A solid 45 minutes for the Dragon Ladies. Dominant in terms of possession, dominant in terms of clinical, in terms of finishing. There was that run from our captain again that ended the halftime at 4 to MACAU's 0. So far, definitely one of the strongest performances we've seen from any of our national squads. Although it is a team that is coming after loss, we do have to appreciate the effort that our Dragon Ladies are putting in at this point. But not really a surprise here. MACAU did end up losing to RTC 2-0. So there was quite a lot at stake for the national team if they ended up with a worse record than RTC. But however, it was a solid half nonetheless. And ladies and gentlemen, do thank you for your support. Do subscribe to the Bhutan Football Federation channel if you haven't already. Much thanks to all our partners. Big thanks to our audience as well. And see you again in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo, and welcome back again to the second half between Bhutan and Macau in an international women's friendly. Right now, Bhutan definitely dominant in possession, clinical in finishing, as I said. Bhutan with a comfortable 4-0 lead as there are substitutions being carried out for the Bhutan side. It is Wilhelmo coming in and Singyangden being subbed off. The crowd, the audience definitely wanted an appearance from Sunita Rai, and there she is on that right flank for Bhutan. 2 substitutions to start the game off. Macau, a substitution for their side as well. Solidly on the back foot. A 4-goal deficit for Macau. Not unrealistic. The dream of climbing back from this deficit, as there is the whistle. Macau immediately sending out a Hail Mary. Pass played out long. This time does manage to retain possession. Brilliant bit of turnaround there. Gengqi didn't see much from her after she went down with that challenge early on. But explosive start from Macau. Hats off, kudos to their players. Definitely looking more alive than ever.
Is replaced by dress number 13 Sunita Rai, and dress number 7 Singyangden is substituted by dress number 23 Ugen Hamo.
Also, to those of our viewers who just tuned in, Bhutan has seen 2 substitutions. Ishibida has been substituted out for Ogen Hamo, number 23. And Singyangden, number 7, has been substituted for number 13, Sunita Rai. Sunita is definitely one of the key players of the blue squad. Her pace would be would prove to be quite useful even if she played against a men's side. I did manage to get myself a glimpse of these players when they joined Transport United Ladies in their Nepal campaign last time. No whistle there on that challenge. A right-footed delivery inside the box. It is Macau still with possession. Unfortunately, it does end up back with the Dragon Ladies. Bhutan. Dekilazum on that left. Brilliant poke out to Pemacharan. Back to Dekilazum. Can she keep it alive? No whistle. A challenge in time. The Dragon Ladies left mouth ajar. Finally, the referee signaling a restart in play as the ball sent back to the goalkeeper for a goal kick. It did look like it went out, but the Dragon Ladies should have simply went and played ahead, as the referee had not signaled the stoppage yet. We are lucky that we have the lead that we have, but it could be the small stuff that we could work on going forward, as Macau again facing with a slight bit of panic there. There is the first touches for the new sub. And the first touches for the other, Sunita. Brilliant run. There is that pace on that workhorse down on that right flank. Brilliant burst of speed. Beats one. Delivery inside the captain. Unreal burst down on that right flank. But that is what Sunita is known for. Tema. Also to our viewers who missed the goal scorers, the opening goal was scored by Sukmaya with brilliant positioning from across, delivered from the right flank. The second came from Dikilazum. Brilliant solo effort right in front of the goalkeeper and the defenders. The third, a penalty scored by Doji Iden. And we had our fourth coming the way of the captain, Pimasharan. There is the Dragon Ladies creeping ever so slowly. Brilliant turnaround there. Brilliant stop. Dikilazum sends it out. Past middle. Yishay not. Again, apologies. Ugen Hamu can't quite manage to get it under control. And it is MACAU. Brilliant step over there, but does lose the possession. And it is Pimasharan. Brilliant pace again from Sunita. No defender inside, has all the space in the world to work with. Sends the ball in, header. Went two under the ball and the ball sent way over the crossbar. Brilliant touch on that pass from the captain. Set up Sunita perfectly. Sunita had that vision to see the open far post as well. Dikilazum right there, just couldn't quite take advantage. Despite mistake at the end. Beautiful, beautiful football being played by the Dragon Ladies here today. MACAU solid defense, but every gap in their armor being exploited and taken apart bit by bit. Also to our viewers who missed the goal scorers, again it was Sukmaya, number 5, the defender. There she is on possession. It was Doji Iden off a penalty. It was Dikilazum. And it was the captain, as there is again a chance for Dikilazum to make it 5! Open net, the goalkeeper stumbling. The number 9. The second half proving to be quite a bit shaky for our tiny forward. There was that effort. Did have 2 defenders. Tried to avoid it. Brilliant judgment to send it bottom left, but not quite enough. It is MACAU back on possession, definitely looking stronger. The first half was absolute shambles, as their game plans failed due to the sheer difference in terms of technical ability and physical prowess. The Dragon Ladies, very, very strong in this game. Their challenges are flying left and right, all clean. And there is the sole hero from the side of MACAU. Wenglan has kept the scoreline as it is right now. Would have been a lot more goals for the Dragon Ladies given the mistakes there. Players are committing upfield. There's Dikilazum again. Cross delivered inside. But outstretched it is Anna Sophia, their captain. This time it will be Jamyang Charen. Didn't quite see so much from her, but this will be her opportunity to impact the game as the cross is delivered to the penalty area. Not quite enough there on that connection for Ginlamo. Sunita does manage to keep possession alive, but that challenge sends it out. And flag in favor of MACAU. Bhutan playing deep. Might have been a bit too weak on that pass. It is intercepted. Gengchi. Too much pressure on the number 3. And MACAU forced to send it off. Definitely the best they can do to keep the ball away from their goalpost as much as possible. As there is the captain. Desperate clearance there from the side of MACAU. And it will be right there with Sunita. Two brilliant runs. Started at twice the distance from her defender. But twice she managed to win the ball as that ball is sent right into the goalkeeper. Solid hands from Wenglan to deny Bhutan the opportunity to make it 5. Has only been 10 minutes after the start of the second half. Bhutan looking as strong as they did. There is a 10-spot difference in the FIFA rankings for the women's teams. Bhutan is up at 165, MACAU at 175, but the performance from the Dragon Ladies definitely playing beyond their full potential. As there is that run from Sunita again, has the options, defender strides behind, left-footed cross inside, and it will be Jamyang Charan with the opportunity to set things in motion again. Brilliant delivery inside. A double-edged dive from Wenglan. Not really a need to throw herself in that way, but better safe than sorry indeed, as the ball is played short. Corner resumed immediately. It is Sringharan at the end of it, outside the area. Bhutan. Jamyang, brilliant delivery inside. No connection, unfortunately, as Ugan Lamo and the captain. There is another player down from MACAU after receiving that shot from Sringharan head on from outside the box. Definitely a way for MACAU to get back in this game. One lucky break is all they need. Right now they are having trouble beating the brilliant press and the zone being played by the Dragon Ladies. But given the difference in performance, you can't help but cheer on the underdogs. The Dragon Ladies have proven every word that they have. MACAU are coming off of a 2-0 loss to the RTC women's side. Most of their teams are indeed kids. As I said, 5 players were born in 2010. 1 in 2009, 1 in 2011. And apologies I missed it, but one of them was born in 2012. So it is still a very, very young side being fielded by MACAU. Losses will be common, as this is still their stage of growing. They are still years beyond a real sense of victory and confidence. But it is exactly at this stage where it will be important for these players to not give up, to be as resilient as they can. And through these struggles will they finally grow into the team and players that they are destined to be, as there is a failed clearance from Bhutan. The Dragon Ladies' brilliant positioning expected that rebound from the defense. Beautiful positioning from the Dragon Ladies, but unfortunate slip there from Sunita does cost us the possession. And it will be Wenglan again to set things in motion. Also, in comparison, Bhutan's youngest is actually Dekil Hazum, who was born in 2004. We do have a couple of 2003 and 1-2 players for the Dragon Ladies, but considering the fact that MACAU players are literally a decade younger, there is more to go for MACAU, as that was a harsh possession. Offside flag has been raised. Referee does notice it finally. Apologies. It does seem like Dekil Hazum and Sunita have switched sides. Sunita now on the left flank was subbed in to play for the right. Ugenhamo is playing up front with Pemucharan and Dekil Hazum. Seems to have converted over to the right wing. Sunita, haven't seen her in a while. Definitely one of the easiest games she's ever played in her career. Her teammates up front doing all the work from her, not seeing the ball get anywhere near our goalpost. Brilliant move there, and Dekil Hazum has that right foot delivered inside off the right. Brilliant effort from the number 9. Could have made it 5 for Bhutan, as we are currently at the 1 hour mark. It was a solid start in the first half for the number 9. Tested multiple times, multiple opportunities in the second half. Looked quite shaky, but finally seems to be getting her form back. There again, unfortunate for MACAU, as long ball from Weng Lan, untouched by any of her teammates. It is Lokwa up front, hoping to at least get the Dragons to panic a little bit. Sringladen, plenty of options. There is Dojidin, there is Sugmaya. Plays it long on that left. Might have been a bit too much for both Sunita and Jamem. There was that effort again from the number 9. At this point, the possession heavily in favor of the Dragon Ladies. Multiple opportunities, but the score sheet definitely not reflecting the solid performance being put out by the Dragon Ladies despite the 4-goal lead. It is sent out right. Dekil Hazum shots in inside. It was across to Sunita. Just a step too late. Will be a confusing decision to be made for the officials, and it seems like the goalkeeper is down this time. Weng Lanchong, the number 1 for MACAU. Definitely the best performer of the night. Kept so many shots away. And it seems like that clash against Sunita finally took her down. If you've played sports, you know that if you're playing a losing match and bad stuff keeps happening to your best players, it will be a huge blow to morale. Weng Lan is back up on her feet. Does seem to be brushing it off as there are substitutions being made for MACAU. It is number 24, Ka and Lok being substituted in, and it is Udmeng. Still half an hour to go. Wenglan punching her quads, willing the injury to move out of her way. She is playing for more than herself. It is their country's jerseys they're wearing right now.
Is replaced by jersey number 5, Utmeng.
And it is a warm sight to see the goalkeeper back on her feet again. As MACAU finally resumes play with a solid opportunity for a possession. Long ball played out to that right. It is Jamyang Chorin who manages to get a header under it. But it does allow for a throw-in for MACAU. Beautiful coverage from the Dragon Ladies. No options on that throw-in. There is a long throw opening up in midfield. Brilliant gravity. As that ball is sent off again for a throw-in. Jamyang, brilliant power on that throw-in, but it is well read. Tin Lam Chan, brilliant interception, sent it out, and it will be a throw-in again from Jamyang. This time it is played back. Sukmaya, Bhutan definitely taking the time. Brilliant initiation there from Somcharin. Ball played long. After Sukmaya, it is Jamyang. Options to work with Sunita making that run, but decides to send in midfield. Pemicharan, not quite as Anna Sophia is the one to knock it off. And the Dragon Lady is definitely the better team in this match, but at this point they are at a stalemate. It has been a quite stretch after resuming second half. Did have the fantastic heroics from the captain to get herself on the score sheet to end the first half. But so far a scoreless campaign in the second half for the Dragon Ladies. Despite the sheer difference in class compared to the MACAU side, the Dragon Ladies definitely look like they are taking it easy. Either they are being way too careful, or they are being way too ambitious, which is causing their attacks to fail as that ball is sent off with authority. The Dragon Ladies, brilliant one touches on that right flank. Can they keep it alive? Not quite enough as it is sent off for a goal kick for MACAU. Wenglan. Again, unfortunate connection on that long ball from the goalkeeper. MACAU definitely having trouble retaining possession. Jamyang. Brilliant run from Sunita. Has plenty of options. There is Uginlamo. There is the captain Pemicharan. As the left foot is intercepted by Anna Sophia. Unfortunate read by Utmeng as that long shot is sent off to the goalkeeper, easily in her hands. As the Dragon Ladies with another redundant effort. definitely a drop in performance from the Dragon Ladies compared to the first half, where we had 4 exciting goals, one after the other. But their build-up does look promising, as there is that run from the Kilazum. Brilliant decision to keep it under control with that header. Brilliant! Beast one sends it off with that left foot, not quite enough power, but it is back again to Sugmaya to reignite the spark of this offense. The Kilazum again. All the space in the world to work with. It is inside the box, but finally cleared away. Now the only question is, can MACAU make something out of this possession? Not quite enough pace, no pace at all. Playing against this sort of pressure from the Dragon Ladies is going to be exhausting, both for your body and for your mind. And MACAU at this point seeing no way in. Corner is taken by Jamyang. Can Bhutan make it? 5 delivered inside the back post. Pemachare has that right foot connection. The second for the captain. We all saw it coming, and it will be 5 for Bhutan. The Dragon Ladies had it coming from miles away. And at the end, it is the captain leading the way for the Dragon Ladies. Our brothers are coming off of solid international performances. Ogan Wanchu did play in that match against Brunei. And her little brother did. Pemajaso, the number 10 for the under-17s, did play in the qualifiers. Both brilliant players, and at this point the sister not far behind at all. In fact, in terms of pure skill, she is definitely the best player in her family. Unfortunate again and again for MACAU. It is already a difficult match for them, as it is against the Dragon Ladies. But they are forced to deal with injury, player down after player down. And we do have to respect the sheer guts of their players to go toe-to-toe with our players nonetheless, no matter what the scoreline may say. This time it is a stretcher being brought in, and again it is a youngster. Chesi Jung, one of the youngest on the field. She is still like 15, 16. She was born in 2011. She did show promise, definitely solid performance from her side. But the age factor just way too much for MACAU to deal with. But kudos to her, kudos to the MACAU team. Even we as fans of Bhutanese football, as fans of Bhutanese football have been through that stage where our teams were way too young and were simply outclassed by international opponents. Finally, we are entering an era where Bhutan is being gifted with better players, better infrastructures to develop and grow these players. The growth being especially apparent in the women's side of football.
Substitution for Team MACAU. Just number 20.
Brilliant bit of skill there on that right flank. Right footed delivery inside. It is Pemacharan again finds the contact. but not quite enough. England. Massive respect to the goalkeeper as well. Did go down with an injury or something bothering her quads. But as we saw earlier, she simply punched her pain away and is still on goal for MACAU. It is a friendly. There are no major consequences to any tournaments or like odds. But after you bear the flag of your country, your home, there is simply a different level of expectations you place on yourselves, and that goalkeeper from MACAU. No shortage of heroics from that goalkeeper as that long pass again fails to connect with her forwards. And the first touch that our goalkeeper Sangeeta Monga has had in a while, in fact. Sringhadin, brilliant left-footed pass. Just managed to keep it away from Kake-chan. Brilliant heroics. It is Tequilazom. Cuts back in Sunita, right foot intercepted. Still anyone's ball. It is pure chaos. As MACAU forced to send it out for a corner. There was that brilliant touch from Michel Lamo. Ugen Lamo. Sunita. It was Jocelyn forced again. If she had taken it forward, the Dragon Ladies are proving to be quite a difficult team to beat in possession. There is the whistle to resume crossing.
Double substitution for
Resume play as the corner played. The goalkeeper again.
Is replaced by just number 18 Ting Yang Chen. And just
A
number
one-handed
19 Puzzle
end
is replaced by
to
just
Bhutan's
number 8
attack
Memo
as
Yong Chun.
always. As there are 2 substitutions being made for Bhutan. Well-earned rest for our earlier goal scorers. Right-footed cross in. Ogenhamo, beautiful turnaround. Hounded by MACAU. Nowhere to go. But it is recovered back. Sunita on that left. Does get the ball finally. Not quite enough pace this time around to get around that physicality. Shot from Ogenhamo, not quite enough. And it will be a goal kick. Again, a player down for MACAU this time. It is their substitution here, Cheng. Also very young. He was born in 2011. The reckless kicks from the Dragon Ladies definitely getting in the way of MACAU's performance today. The power of Emadasi and Shakampa definitely doing wonders here at Changlimitang. Opportunity again for the Dragon Ladies. This time managed to beat the tackle. Right foot. Still anyone's ball. Jamyang managed to get a head in. Finally cleared away, but still a moon ball. Throwing that in. Simply shoving King Chi out of her way, but brilliant job from the youngsters to hold her ground and force the Dragon Ladies back to our goalkeeper Sangeeta. this time does manage to hold on to the ball for a bit longer than usual. Hasn't seen play at all on her side except for maybe 1 or 2 close calls in the first half. Kake-chan, brilliant timing on that challenge, but huge respect to each and every player from the side of MACAU, despite the scoreline being 5-0 in favor of the Dragon Ladies. Given their age, they have put up a solid fight in every way they can, especially the goalkeeper there again for the cleanup. No mistakes from her whatsoever. Weng Lan Chong. Definitely a name we can hope to see in Asian football given a couple of years. She is only 16 years of age. She was also born in 2010, which adds even more awe to the fact that given the level of performance that she is putting up against the Dragon Ladies, who are at a minimum a decade older. Also, Bhutan did make a couple of substitutions, so our starters, most of our starters are out. Sunita did not start, Ugin did not start. They were substituted in at half time. Ishibida started, is no longer on the field. Sri Youngden started, is no longer on the field. Doji Eden started, I don't believe she is on the field as well. We did miss the timing on that substitution as well. The ball finally on the left side. Left-footed crossing. Not quite enough lift to pose any real threat to the MACAU back line. Sugmaya, as a defender, scored the opening goal for the Dragon Ladies here in their matchup against MACAU. Brilliant positioning. Played herself in the back post, got herself the tap in. And it was momentum all the way for the Dragon Ladies as the cross is played again, and this time again Weng Lan Chong. Brilliant read on that trajectory. No escape for that ball from her solid hands. But this time Sugmaya redeems herself from that mistake. Had a mispass. Tringhadin, MACAU's number 7, definitely loves to put out a tackle. Sunita, pass read perfectly on that left side. Kake manages to get a pass in, but it will be Sangeeta winning that horse race. Sring Yangchen off to Jamyang. Bemichorin, brilliant burst of speed from the captain, has the space. Cross read and it is sent out. It will be a corner, but there is a substitution. It is Tringhadin coming off, and instead we will have Cher Pelmo being substituted in for the Dragon Ladies. Brilliant effort from the number 14 so far in this match. Was absolutely everywhere on the field, everywhere, all at once.
Substitution for
Corner
Team Bhutan.
played in.
Just number
This time
14
headed away.
is substituted by just number
Second attempt.
from
Back post, and there is that header from the captain. Hat-trick for the number 6. Glory for the Dragon Ladies, leading the way.
Goal for Team 3.
Fun fact, our first goal was from Sukmaya, second from Tekelazum, third from Doji Eden, and our fourth, fifth and sixth goals all coming by way of our number 6, Bema Choden. Definitely the captain for a reason, definitely one of the best players in our country's women's population. Less than 10 minutes remain. May very well be a couple of minutes of extra time given the number of people that went down for MACAU. But it does mean that MACAU will have a couple more chances to bring themselves back into this match with at least a consolation. Given the sheer effort of their players, I do feel like they have earned a consolation at least. But it is the Dragon Ladies' unrelenting long shot! Marvelous attempt from distance from Namgyal Tema. Beautiful strike, absolutely world class. No chance this time around for Wing Lan as MACAU concedes their 7th. The Dragon Ladies definitely heating up in the tying movements. Just as much pressure mounting for the side of MACAU. Their youngsters definitely struggling against the adrenaline that the Dragon Ladies are filled up with.
Just number 14
What a strike indeed from Namgyal Tema. Still speechless at that strike. Did not expect that at all, but she did have that confidence in herself. Brilliant bit of move there from Sunita. Cut back in, shot from the penalty area. Ugenlamo. Not quite enough connection with that left foot. Brilliant showcase of skills from Sunita, but not quite enough to culminate in something else. There was that goal again. Fantastic strike. Drop left. Hard to see a goal of such caliber even in the men's league here in Bhutan. So absolute kudos to Namgyal Tema indeed. Started this game up front playing as a winger, is right now playing back in the back line. And definitely with that space, seems like that's where she's more capable. With the gravity of our forwards and our captain, she was left with way too much space. It is these moments that make me believe that it is actually our women's national team that are much better compared to our peers than the men's. I do not know if it is because it's the men's side that we place so many expectations that we end up getting disappointed more often than not. But from personal experience, tuning in to the women's matches have never been disappointing. There was the hat-trick for our captain. There was that banger from our number 11. Only a few minutes left. Bhutan definitely had the victory as we went into the end of the first half. But in the field of sports, if you know that you are winning, the biggest respect you can show to your opponents is by not giving up. Taking it easy is personally a form of disrespect. So I do hope that our Dragon ladies play until the final whistle, until the whistle is over, and show these Macau youngsters the utmost respect from the Dragon Kingdom. Macau playing years above their level. This is the Macau senior team, and about 60% of these players will be playing for their under 18, under 17 side in fact. So there is a vast difference in terms of maturity for these players. There is King Long, the number 3 for Macau. One of the youngest, in fact, on the field, maybe even amongst the audience. She was born in the late months of 2012. So despite the strong performance from our ladies, even more so, we have to appreciate the fight that the Macau youngsters have put up, as Bhutan loads up another offense. 3 minutes has been signaled. Pemicharan up front, sends it back. Jamyang a bit too under the ball, and it flies off to the moon. Solid presence in the back line in the first half. This time seems to have been moved up. Brilliant build up there from Macau. Does end up in a step too late for Utmeng. Two more minutes to go. The only question now is, will the Dragon ladies build up to their 8th, or will Macau get a consolation of their own? The Dragon ladies do lose possession. Brilliant possession. William Hamel. Sukmaya gets it back. As Bhutan looking to make something happen. Hopefully make it their 8th. Sunita, unfortunate possession there. It is a harsh shove against the youngster. Gengchi is sent down. Struggling to get back up. Does manage to get back on that feet as Bhutan is back with possession. No flag raised. Left foot desperate on that turnaround. Not much time left. That's the Dragon ladies dancing around their opposition. Although today's matchup was against a much younger, much inexperienced team, we do have to take in the fact that Bhutan's ladies played their absolute best, although we do see a couple of things we need to work on. Their finishing, their build-up, their pressure in defense has been absolutely phenomenal and will be strong signs for our national squad going forward. And with that whistle, applause for the Dragon ladies for the strong win with the scoreline of 7-0, but at the same time no shortage of respect for the players in green representing Macau. although this game was decided quite before the final whistle, given their age, especially the goalkeeper from Macau and a couple of the youngsters, solid performance from their side, did not give up at all, although most of their players were limping from the challenges from the much older and much more mature Dragon Ladies. But it is the first time in a while that we are having a win back home for our national squad. Solid performance from our captain, solid performance from our forwards, and all around a solid performance from the Dragon Ladies as the audience applauds the brilliant performance from the Dragon Ladies in orange. And do let us know if any of y'all had your predictions right, as the applause is being thrown towards the hustle and absolute grit from the side of Macau. And applause from my side as well. Solid fight, did not give up, played until the final whistle. And there it is, the Dragon Ladies celebrating their victories here at Changlimitang. Started with quite harsh weather. The rain was almost parallel given the wind. Parallel to the ground given the harsh winds. But with that, we end tonight's storyline in the victory for the Dragon Ladies. Finally a win for our international campaign back home, but this does not have any real consequences. But we may see our rankings jump up quite a bit after this victory. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, do thank you for tuning in. To those of you who are here at Changlimitang, do thank you for turning up despite the weather. Ladies and gentlemen, our seasons will be resuming quite soon. Do follow Bhutan Football Federation here on YouTube. Do follow us on Facebook. Do follow the teams who will be playing in the upcoming seasons on their social media pages as well, as cheers are being thrown in the stadium here at Changlimitang. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, this was your commentator Ugentesh Tochi, signing off. The applause and cheers for the players and warriors out there on the field. Until then, have a good night. See you all next time.